After a good showing in New Hampshire, Democratic candidate Bernie Sanders visited the Tar Heel state today. If he becomes the Democratic nominee, what could that mean for down-ballot races this November, including the North Carolina U.S. Senate race? Our Washington, D.C. Bureau reporter Kevin Fry talks to the key players.
Casting his primary ballot, Senator Tillis took aim at his Democratic rivals, trying to tie them to presidential candidate Bernie Sanders. In a recent newspaper report, both Cal Cunningham and Erica Smith indicated they plan to back the party's nominee this fall.
If Erica Smith believes people in North Carolina, if Cal Cunningham believes people in North Carolina want Bernie Sanders and his liberal progressive policies in place, then they need to be informed about it.
Sanders is riding high after a first-place finish in New Hampshire. That's led some national Democrats to sound alarm bells that if the self-described Democratic Socialist from Vermont is atop the 2020 ticket, it may hurt their party's chances in key down-ballot races. Joe Biden has made it part of his pitch.
You're going to walk into any of those states we have to win, like Florida and other places, that we're going to win in Georgia and North Carolina, and say, by the way, my president describes himself as a Democratic Socialist. What do you think Trump will do with that?
So is this a fair concern in North Carolina? Catawba College professor and Tar Heel State political observer Michael Bitzer says yes.
In general, particularly statewide, we tend to be still a center-right state.
But that's not to say the top of the ticket dictates everything. There are still some split-ticket voters, meaning down-ballot candidates do have some wiggle room to set themselves apart.
And that potentially could play well here in North Carolina simply because 4 years ago, the state voted for Donald Trump and voted for the Democrat for governor, Roy Cooper.
While early voting Friday, Cunningham tried to paint himself in that independent light.
My job is to represent North Carolina, the 10.5 million people that call our state home, and I'm confident that as a U.S. Senator that I'm going to be a strong independent voice in Washington, whoever the next president might be.
Talking to reporters, Senator Tillis was asked if he would like to see Sanders as the Democratic nominee. He argued the Democratic candidate didn't really matter, that they all have similar policy proposals that he argues are too far to the left for North Carolina. Reporting in Washington, I'm Kevin Fry, Spectrum.